Points. Yo, 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 what does it do for you, my good friend? Or family member? Hey, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the Broad Points Podcast. I am your host, the Broad That Points, the Broad with the Points. It's me, Tyler, the lady. And to start off this podcast, I want to tell you guys that wherever you are right now, whatever strides you have already made, you are doing great. You deserve to celebrate the wins. You deserve to celebrate the steps that you take, no matter how small they may be, because forward progress is forward progress. I mean, ever since I started playing golf, that's one thing that I can truly appreciate, right? Anytime your ball moves forward in golf, you really can't be too mad. It's the same thing in life. As long as we're not shooting our shot off into the lake or into a pond or off into a tree that ricochets it into some forestry that ball's gone forever. You know, we're just constantly making happy little accidents, as my good friend Bob Ross would say. And we are moving forward, no matter how slow or long that journey may feel in this moment. Hindsight, it's always 2020, right? People always want to say that about things that happen poorly or negatively in the past, is like, yeah, I could definitely look back at that and see how I made all those mistakes. There's also, a positive way to look back too, right? Because if you could do it one way, you could do it the other. And in this instance, if you're doing something great, if you're making progress, no matter how small and judgmental we want to be about it, you're still moving forward. Give yourself the credit that you deserve because, hey, friend, you're killing it. You're doing great. Now keep giving that fabulous energy that you have out into the world. Or I always say, if you're self-isolating, channel that. Channel it for yourself, for your goals, for wherever you want to be in your life. Even if you just want to sit there and meditate. Meditation allows you to find that ground zero. It allows you to weed through the bologna sandwich that's constantly being spewed at you. Which leads me to my first point of this podcast. Don't take the bait. When we are making efforts to better ourselves, to better our lives, when we have goals, when we have a vision that maybe doesn't fit the normal standards of society, people are going to want to pull you back to their level. People are going to want to tell you that you're not doing something right because you're not doing it the way they are or the way they learned. But there's so many different pathways in this life. And the thing about somebody who's vibrating at a lower level than you is that misery loves company, you guys. That's the bait, right? Them trying to poke at you and get you to engage with them on their level. It's them trying to bring you back down. It's them saying, hello, my name is Misery, and I need company, and I want it to be you. Right? We have to look at the messages between the lines of what is happening, what people are saying, how people are acting. And we have to decide if those people are people that we want to continue to have in our life. We have to decide if those people are really people that are role models for us, or that, we want to be like. They often say the people you're most like are the people you spend the most time with. And so I always ask, but what does it say about you, the people that you surround yourself with? And I'm not saying what the people say about you is true, because positive or negative, no matter what, people will always have something to say, and it will never have to do with you. Sure, you may be able to pick apart some pieces of what people say and find relation to it, and then maybe if it's negative, beat yourself up for it for years. Sure, you can absolutely do that. Or you can decide to really ground in to your life, into your choices, into the person that you want to be, into the person that you are currently. You're them. You're it. You are right now. You are here. Your presence is relevant. Your choices are valid. No one else can make those choices for you. Nobody else should be influencing your whole life path. Why? Because we are all programmed, designed, built, born, conceived, however you want to call it. We are all perfect. We are all innately good. And that's going to lead me into the fundamental phrase for the week, you guys. The fundamental phrase is: the best way to teach love is to be love. Right? The best way to teach love is to be love. It really is. Lead by example. Right? I have come from a long line of gossipers, right? Family, friends, whoever, right? This may be you. You may also know a reasonable amount of people that like to give the good gossip of crap. Gossip is really just judgment, right? And it's so easy to get caught up in. Societally, it is just widely accepted. But 1, you don't have to take the bait. 2, you can choose to lead and teach with love, right? To respond with love. And Deepak Chopra talked about, the neurons firing in the brain, and how by focusing on love, we can rewire that. We can rewire our brains. Instead of coming from the trauma and the abuse and the violence that maybe our past contain, we can choose to focus on love. And for me to say that, you guys, it should really give you hope. No, seriously though, for me to say that, it is powerful. It's a good reminder. The reason why I put this information out into the world, it's for everyone, you guys. It's for you. It's for me. It's a good reminder that we are not our experiences. The darkness, the lightness, whatever your past is, you are not your past. You're not. You are you. You are this moment. You are your energy that you will always have with you. And although your past lessons may influence who you are today, they do not define you. And, I think about my corporate job, right? My corporate jobs that I've had. I've worked a lot in the customer service industry. And from the customer service side of things, right? If you get someone who is not in a good mood, you're just supposed to kill them with kindness, right? Kill them with kindness. Because if you get as angry as they get, where does that escalation lead to? Every choice that we make, it has a consequence, right? And I'm not saying the consequence is going to be either negative or positive, but there will be a result based off of the action that is taken. And so communication, right, in these moments with customer service people who are jumping down your throat, a gentle reminder, a loving reminder of, hello, I understand you're stressed. I would love to be able to assist you. However, if you continue to display profane language towards me, I will have to end this call. Or if you're in person, I will have to refuse service. People are allowed to refuse service. That means you are allowed to refuse requests, suggestions, opinions. You have the right. You're your own business. You are in the business of keeping your own peace. And that looks different for everyone. Maybe you're a person who loves to tolerate these sort of things, right? You really enjoy engaging in this particular sort of banter. Kudos for you. In a world that's already too hot, too heated, I choose to act with love. I choose to act with kindness. I choose to stand my ground in these moments, right? Don't take the bait is so real. People want you to be angry. People want you to be afraid like they are. I think about so many times when I was working up in Alaska. I used to be a travel agent for all of the like fishermen and the TV crews and all sorts of things up there in Dutch Harbor, Alaska. And the weather, you guys, was so volatile. We were on an island on Dutch Harbor. It's, I believe, like the third island off of the Aleutian chain of Alaska. And getting there post plane crash, because in addition to volatile weather, there's also plane crashes, which restrict the planes that you can fly on and how often you can get in. Just a lot of hoops of fire to jump through, really, for the fishing industry to get in and out of the villages in Alaska. And when I was working in Dutch Harbor and the weather would go down, people would be immediately at my desk. They would be asking me for a seat. They needed to get on a charter plane. They needed to get out of here. Their kid, their wife, their mother, their father, any sort of anything that you could possibly hear, people would then come to me. And it was now my problem to get them off the island. And I'm a travel agent. It's like, it's always my problem. That's my job, really, to like help them get where they need to go. And I'm always happy to do that. And I understand not wanting to miss family events. And for most people, I'm so happy to be able to do anything I can, as long as they're nice to me. And if you talk to any of the guys up there, they will tell you the same exact thing. They'll tell you that as long as they were nice to me, I would do anything I can to get them their seat. But as soon as someone was mean to me, I would vocalize it. I would tell them if I needed to shut my window to avoid contact with them, I would. Because I refused to take their bait. And actually, the pun is definitely kind of intended there, right? Fisherman, bait, why not? Let's go with it. They're throwing out lines of anger, frustration, stress. They want to go home. They've been on this island. They've been on a boat for weeks, if not months. They just want to see their kids. They just want to have a Christmas. I know. I am huge on empathy. I feel what other people feel, even when I don't want to. And sometimes I have to kind of separate myself and figure out where I start and another person begins. But at least I can tell how other people feel, right? The golden rule is to treat others the way you want to be treated. In today's world of dissociation and detachment, it's hard to continue to tell people to treat others the way they want to be treated because so many people have been abused and subjected to violence and trauma that they now find tolerable, that they think is okay, that they have excused away. And as a result, that is bleeding out. That's generational trauma that's bleeding out to other people from other places that didn't experience what you experienced. Right? And so that's why now they've come out with the platinum rule, right? The golden rule we all learned in kindergarten, the platinum rule I've since later learned in life, and that's treat others the way they want to be treated. And I feel like the platinum rule was specifically designed for the people who lack empathy, the people who are just so, I'm going to say it, narcissistic and focused on themselves and nobody else matters, right? Them, they, maybe you, sometimes me, back in the past maybe, but no, honestly, I can't even say me back in the past because I've just always been a little ball of emotion. I've always been the little sponge that absorbs everything. But for the people, for real, if you're a person who doesn't find empathy easy, that's okay. Think about the way the other person wants to be treated. What's an appropriate way to treat another person? If you've been abused, if you've been yelled at, you know it doesn't feel good. I know it doesn't feel good. You know, I grew up in a house of spankings and yellings, and for me, I know I would never want to raise a child like that. I would never want to put that sort of harm or, mental story in a child's head. I just wouldn't. If I had a child, I would want to be with that child 100% because that is a part of me. And so if you have a child, right? Like, how are you teaching them love? And what does love look like to you? Love looks differently for everyone. People want to talk about the 5 love languages and what love language are you, and that's absolutely fine. You can pick one of those to just practice, right? Pick a love language, pick a way that you like to display love and share. Ask somebody else how they want to be loved, right? How would you like to experience love in this moment? And feel free to do that with yourself too, right? Self-care, self-love. In moments of silence, in moments of, we'll call it boredom, but it lasts briefly because I'm usually like, I have a thing to do, or I want to do a thing for myself. Ground yourself. Take that minute to meditate and have the question be, how do I want to love myself? What sort of love do I want to receive in this moment? And once you find the clarity that meditation unveils, you can take the actions to get there. You can take the actions to find love for yourself and share love with the world. And the cool thing about love, you guys, is that love travels everywhere. You can take it to any continent, any planet. You can take it anywhere. It's so light. It weighs nothing. It costs nothing. Regardless of what people want to say, you don't have to spend your money on love. You don't. Right? Love is weightless. Love is free. It's here to share for you and me. And if you do want to share this podcast, you can like, rate, review, subscribe, word of mouth. Tell your friend about it. You can follow me at Broadpoints or at Tyler the Lady. And if you or they want to send me an email, please do. I would love to read it. I would love to write back to you. I would love to take the time to connect. And Gentle reminder, I do still have that Xero affiliate link. Yes, Xero shoes with an X because they're edgy. I'm sorry, guys, I don't have a discount. I really wish that I did. The affiliate link, it just gets me paid. But if you want to buy Xero shoes and simultaneously pay me, use my Xero shoes link. It is Xero with an X. That is XEROSHOES.com/go/Tyler the Lady. All together, guys, no space, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. XEROShoes.com/go/Tyler the Lady. And one final time with the fundamental phrase for the week. The best way to teach love is to be love.